This episode is an ESL listening practice for intermediate learners. You will hear a natural conversation with clear pronunciation and everyday English. No tests, no pressure, just listening. Let's start.
I want you to start by just imagining something for a second. Picture a world where lying is physically impossible. And I don't just mean the big lies, crimes, fraud, that kind of thing.
Right.
I mean everything, the little stuff. No more polite excuses for being late. No telling your friend their new haircut looks amazing when you actually, you secretly hate it.
Oh, that's a dangerous one.
It is. Or no saying, I'm fine, when you're actually having a really, really bad day. What would actually happen to our society if everyone told the truth all the time?
It's a fascinating question, isn't it? And hello, everyone. Welcome to ESL Listening Practice. I'm really looking forward to unpacking this whole idea with you today.
Me too.
It's one of those classic thought experiments, but it's also, a perfect way to look at how we actually use language in our daily lives.
I am so excited for this one. I feel like this is a topic that sounds amazing in theory, like, yay, honesty, but it probably gets a little messy in practice.
That's a good way to put it.
So just to set the stage for everyone listening, what's our mission for today?
Well, today is a bit of a special English lesson. We aren't just looking at grammar rules.
No verb charts today.
No, none of that. We are exploring a thought experiment about honesty, human behavior, and some very real-life consequences. The goal is to improve your listening skills while we discuss this really interesting what-if scenario from the text we're looking at.
I love that. It's like learning English through philosophy. So let's jump in. What are the rules of this imaginary world according to the discussion we're following?
The rules are simple but very strict. The premise is no lies, ever. But it goes deeper. No white lies.
Okay, let's pause right there. White lies. That's a phrase I hear all the time. Can we get a really clear definition for everyone?
Certainly. A white lie is a small, polite lie. It's the kind of lie we tell to be nice, really, to avoid hurting someone's feelings.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say you cook me dinner and, well, it tastes terrible. But I say, this is interesting. Thank you so much. That's a white lie.
Right. I'm protecting your feelings about your cooking. It's like social glue.
Yeah.
So in this world, that's all gone.
Completely gone. Also, no exaggerations. You know how when you tell a story, you might make it, say, 20% more dramatic just to be funny?
Oh, I do that all the time. I waited in line for like a million years.
Exactly. In this world, you would have to say, I waited in line for 25 minutes. Every single thought, every feeling, it's spoken exactly as it is.
Wow. Okay. My initial reaction to that, it sounds kind of amazing. Yeah. I mean, imagine the clarity. You'd never have to guess what anyone is thinking. It sounds like a perfect world, at least at first glance.
It certainly has a bright side, which is where the text starts its analysis. And the first major theme here is trust.
Oh, okay.
In our current world, trust is something you have to earn, right? It takes time. You have to prove you're honest. But in this imaginary world, trust becomes absolute.
Okay, that's a strong word. Let's look at that one. Absolute. What does it mean in this specific context?
Good catch. So absolute means complete, without any limits or exceptions. It's total. If you have absolute trust in someone, you trust them 100%. There is zero doubt.
Right. So you'd never have to wonder if a person is hiding something. That would be such a relief. I feel like we spend so much mental energy just trying to figure out if people are being real with us.
We are constantly decoding, aren't we? What do they really mean by that? Are they just saying that to be nice?
All the time.
In this world, that whole mental burden is just gone. And that leads to the next point in the discussion. Relationships. If trust is absolute, the text argues that relationships become deeper and more genuine.
Genuine. That's a great word. I feel like we use that to describe like leather bags, but also people.
Yes. And ideally, both should be real. Genuine means real, honest, or not fake. If a person is genuine, they're exactly who they appear to be. They aren't putting on a mask or an act.
And in this world of total truth, every single relationship would be genuine by default.
Exactly. Because you physically cannot be fake.
I could see how that would change dating especially. Oh my gosh, imagine dating in this world. It would be terrifying, but also super efficient.
Think about it. Usually in the early stages of dating, there's a lot of guessing, right?
So much guessing. Do they like me or are they just being polite? Why haven't they texted back?
Oh, it's the worst. The so-called game of dating. You have to wait 3 days to call. You have to pretend you're busy.
It's exhausting.
It is. But in this truth-only world, you would know immediately if someone is interested. If you go on a date and ask, did you have a good time?
Yeah.
They can't lie. They have to say, yes, I really like you and I'd like to see you again.
Or
they'd have to say, no, I didn't feel a connection. And to be honest, I found your stories about your job really boring.
ouch, that's intense, but I guess it saves so much time.
It saves time, confusion, and a ton of emotional stress. You aren't wasting weeks or even months on someone who isn't genuinely interested. You get the rejection over with immediately and you move on.
That is a huge benefit. No more ghosting, because people will just have to tell you they aren't interested. What about friendships? Does the text talk about how friends would interact?
It does. It suggests that friends would openly say what they like and what they dislike about each other.
Ooh, that sounds a little riskier. And I feel like my friends and I, we mostly rely on just being supportive of each other.
It is riskier. And the analysis here is that it might hurt, at least initially. Imagine your best friend telling you, I find it really annoying when you chew your food so loudly.
Oh, no.
Or, I really think you're making a bad decision with your money right now.
Those are very hard things to hear from a friend.
They are. But the argument is that this leads to much stronger bonds. The friendship is based on a real understanding, not just politeness. You know your friend sticks around because they actually like you, flaws and all.
Not just because they're being nice or, because they want something from you.
Precisely. It's a tougher kind of love, but maybe a stronger one.
That makes sense. So that's the personal side dating and friendship. But what about work? I feel like the professional world runs on politeness and, let's be honest, a little bit of pretending.
You're absolutely right. And section 2 of our discussion looks at exactly that. Honesty in professional life. The workplace would shift dramatically. For one, corruption would basically disappear because you couldn't hide it.
And what about office politics?
Gone. Hidden agendas would vanish.
Okay, there's another key phrase I want to grab. Agenda. I usually think of a meeting agenda, like a list of things to discuss.
And that's the most common meaning in a business context. What is on the agenda for today's meeting? But here, when we say someone has a hidden agenda, we mean they have a secret plan or a secret goal that they aren't telling you about.
Ah, okay. So, if a coworker is being really nice to me, helping with my project, but their hidden agenda is that they just want to get close to the boss or take credit for my work.
Precisely. They have a motive they're hiding from you. In a truth-only world, that coworker would have to say something like, I am being nice to you because I want you to make me look good to our manager.
I would definitely not help them then.
Exactly. It creates total transparency. You know everyone's true motivation. And this extends to hiring and evaluations. The text mentions that job interviews would be completely honest.
That would be so refreshing. No more of that. My biggest weakness is that I'm a perfectionist and I work too hard. I hate that answer.
It's a classic fake answer, isn't it? In this world, you'd have to say, well, my biggest weakness is that I procrastinate and I absolutely hate early mornings.
I would hire that person just for the honesty. At least I know what I'm getting.
The most interesting part for me in the professional section is about the performance review.
Let's define that for our listeners first. It's a common term, but good to be clear.
Sure. A performance review is a formal evaluation of how well someone is doing their job. Usually it happens maybe once or twice a year with your manager. You sit down and they tell you what you did well and what you need to improve on.
And usually managers try to be really, really nice, right? They sandwich the bad news between good news.
Exactly. It's called the sandwich method. You're doing great. You completely failed at this project, but we all love your positive attitude.
That's it.
But the text gives a specific scenario of a manager in this truth world. Instead of using that kind of soft, unclear language, the manager says, your work is very detailed, but your communication needs serious improvement. You are often difficult to understand in meetings.
Wow, that is direct. It's harsh.
It is. In our current world, a manager might say something like, maybe we can look at some opportunities to enhance how the team connects and synergizes. It's vague, it's soft.
And half the time you leave that meeting not even knowing if you did a good job or a bad job, you're just confused.
Precisely. So the upside, the benefit here, is that mistakes become visible immediately. If your communication is bad, you know it. And because you know it so clearly, you can actually improve faster. You aren't just guessing.
So far, this world is sounding pretty good. Efficient dating, honest friends, clear feedback at work. But I have a feeling it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I feel like we're about to hit a wall here.
You have good instincts. This is where we transition to section 3, the dark side. Because while truth is efficient, it causes what the discussion calls social friction.
Friction, that's a physics word, like
Oh, yeah.
rubbing two things together until they get hot and maybe even burn.
That's a perfect analogy. When things don't move smoothly, there's friction. Humans are emotionally sensitive creatures. We have feelings. And sometimes the truth just plain hurts.
Definitely. I cry at commercials for dog food, so I am definitely sensitive.
Well, you might struggle in this world then. The text calls this the problem of unfiltered truth.
Unfiltered. Like when you post a photo without a filter on it.
It's a similar idea. A photo filter makes a picture look softer or smoother or just better. When we speak, we usually filter our words. We edit them to be nicer. Unfiltered means there's no softening or editing. You say exactly what comes into your head.
Oh boy. I can already see where this is going. If I said everything that popped into my head, I would probably be in a lot of trouble.
Imagine you buy a brand new outfit. You feel great in it. You walk out and ask your friend, so, how do I look in this?
In the real world, a good friend says, you look amazing, even if it's, hideous.
Correct. That's the social contract.
Mm-hmm.
But in this world, they give you the unfiltered truth. They might say, no, that color makes you look sick, and honestly, the pants are way too tight.
Oh, that would just destroy my confidence. I just wanted a compliment.
And that's the consequence. The text suggests that compliments might actually disappear because people wouldn't give them unless they were 100% true. Everyday conversation would feel incredibly harsh.
We are so used to all that softness in our language.
We are. It sounds like we would all need to be a lot tougher.
That is the perfect lead-in to the next vocabulary concept. The text says people would need thick skin.
Mm-hmm.
Thick skin.
Let's unpack that idiom. It makes me think of like a rhinoceros or something.
Literally, yes. Animals like rhinos or elephants have thick skin to protect them from physical harm. But as an idiom, having thick skin means having the ability to handle criticism or insults without feeling emotional pain. You don't get offended easily.
So if someone says your haircut is bad, a person with thick skin just says, okay, thanks for the opinion, and moves on with their day. Exactly. But a person with thin skin would get very upset. They might cry or get angry.
I think I have pretty thin skin, to be honest. I like the polite lies. They're comforting.
Most of us do. And that politeness, that skill of being nice, even when you're being honest, is what we call tact.
Tact, that's T-A-C-T.
Yes. Tact is skill and sensitivity in how you deal with other people or with difficult issues. It's knowing how to say something without causing offense.
Yeah.
It's really the difference between being honest and just being rude.
And in a world of total truth, tact basically dies.
It's gone. Rest in peace, tact. We'd all miss you.
I really would.
And this lack of tact leads us right into Section 4, which covers family tension and social exhaustion.
Oh no, family's already complicated enough. We do not need more tension.
It is. And the text explores how honesty could create massive tension at home. Think about parents and children. Parents often tell small lies to encourage their kids, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so parents speaking bluntly to their children. That drawing you made is actually pretty ugly, or you are not very good at soccer.
Exactly. Imagine telling a 5-year-old, you are actually quite a bad singer. It sounds so cruel to us.
It really does, or the other way around.
Sure.
Children openly criticizing their parents.
Mom, your cooking is terrible tonight. Dad, your jokes are not funny.
Okay, my dad's jokes are never funny, but we usually laugh anyway.
Right, to be polite. But that all disappears. And it's not just the big insults, it's the disappearance of what we call social niceties. The text gives the specific example of saying thank you for a gift you don't actually like.
Oh, the classic holiday scenario. This happens every single year. My grandma gives me a sweater that is itchy, ugly, and 3 sizes too big. And I always say, oh, thank you, Grandma, I love it.
In the truth world, that is impossible. You'd have to hand it back and say, I do not like this gift. It is itchy, it is ugly, I will never wear it.
Poor Grandma. That would break her heart into a million pieces.
It's brutal. And the text argues that this all takes a toll on us. Social life becomes exhausting. It becomes emotionally demanding because every single interaction is real. There are no breaks. You are constantly dealing with raw, hard facts about how people perceive you.
I feel exhausted just thinking about it. It's like being in a high-stakes negotiation every time you talk to someone. You never get to just relax and, pretend everything is fine for a little while.
You don't. And this brings us to Section 5, the gray area and the psychological effects. This is where the discussion gets really nuanced.
Nuanced is a good word. It means it's not just black and white, right? There are shades of gray in between.
Exactly. It's complex. The text discusses the idea that not all lies are bad.
Yeah.
We have this idea that lying is always wrong, But the text argues that some lies actually exist to protect feelings or avoid unnecessary conflict.
Right, we do it to keep the peace sometimes.
And the term for that is social harmony.
Social harmony, that sounds very peaceful.
Yes, it means peaceful and cooperative relationships within a group or a society. And sometimes, a small white lie is what maintains that social harmony. Telling your aunt you like her pie, even if it's burnt, keeps the family dinner happy and peaceful.
If I told the truth about the burnt pie, dinner would be ruined, there would be fighting. The lie protects the harmony.
Exactly. The lie acts as a buffer. And this connects to the difference between just being honest and being constructive.
Constructive, we hear this a lot in the phrase constructive criticism.
We do. Constructive means helpful and intended to improve something. It builds something up rather than just tearing it down.
Okay, so what's the difference between simple honesty and constructive feedback in this context?
The text contrasts them really well. Telling a coworker, your idea is terrible, is honest, it's the truth, but it's destructive. It just hurts them and it stops the conversation.
Right. It makes them feel bad and they probably won't share any more ideas.
But saying something like, I see some risks in this idea, but maybe we can adjust this part to make it stronger, is constructive. It's still the truth. You're saying the idea has flaws, but it's framed in a way that helps. In a world of absolute, unfiltered truth, we lose that constructive nuance. We just get the raw, this is terrible.
And the text mentions that this kind of raw honesty can push people away.
Yes, the word it uses is alienate.
To alienate, that sounds like the word alien.
It does, they're related.
Yeah.
To alienate someone means to make them feel distant, isolated, or rejected.
Yeah.
Like they're a stranger, an alien. If you are constantly brutally honest with people, you will alienate your friends.
So they won't want to be around you because it's just too painful.
That's it. If I know you're just going to criticize my outfit or my work every single time I see you, I'm probably going to stop hanging out with you. I'm going to avoid you.
And this must have a huge mental health impact.
A massive one. The text suggests that this constant truth causes a lot of anxiety.
Anxiety, that strong feeling of worry or nervousness.
Yes. Imagine the anxiety of knowing you cannot hide your feelings, or the anxiety of knowing everyone around you is judging you out loud all the time.
Yeah.
We lose our social buffers. You'd constantly worry about what you're going to say or what someone is going to say to you.
But as there is silver lining here, a positive side to the psychological effect, we need some hope.
There is. The text calls it the silver lining of growth.
Okay, tell me about the growth. I need to hear this.
The counterpoint is that always facing honest feedback dramatically increases your self-awareness.
Self-awareness. This is a big concept in psychology, isn't it?
It is. Self-awareness is really understanding your own thoughts, your personality, and your behavior. We often lie to ourselves, don't we? We think you're funnier than we actually are, or maybe harder working than we are.
Guilty as charged. I definitely tell myself I'm working hard when I'm just scrolling through social media.
We all do it. But in this world, if 10 different people tell you you are lazy and you are on your phone too much, you have to accept that reality. You can't fool yourself anymore.
That's true. If everyone is a mirror just reflecting the truth back at me, I get a very accurate picture of who I actually am. I can't pretend I'm a saint.
Exactly.
What's the final conclusion from today's topic?
Well, the outro of our discussion summarizes it nicely. It says that a world of total truth is probably unrealistic and, to be honest, maybe not even ideal for human beings as we are.
Yeah, I don't think I want to live there permanently. I like my polite white lies. I like telling my grandma I love her sweater.
We often lie simply to avoid discomfort. But maybe we should aim for honesty with kindness.
Honesty with kindness. I like that. It's not about being brutal. It's about being real, but also being caring.
Exactly. And here's the final provocative thought. Don't ask if absolute honesty is possible. Instead, ask how can we be more honest where it truly matters, without hurting other people unnecessarily.
Where it truly matters. That's the key, isn't it? Being honest about your feelings in a relationship, that matters.
Right.
Being honest about whether you like your grandma's sweater, maybe that matters a little less in the grand scheme of things.
Precisely. It is all about finding that balance. Honesty doesn't have to be cruel. It can be thoughtful and respectful and deeply human. We can choose to be honest about the big things and maybe still use a little bit of tact for the small things.
That is a beautiful way to end.
Before we go, let's just quickly remind our listeners of those key words we learned. Repetition is so important for learning.
Let's do it. We had absolute meaning, complete and total, and genuine, real, and not fake.
We discussed agenda, that hidden plan or motive, and performance review, the formal evaluation at work.
Then we talked about unfiltered truth and how we need tact to soften it. and needing thick skin to handle it.
And finally, we looked at social harmony, being constructive instead of destructive, trying to avoid alienating people, and the big one, gaining self-awareness.
Amazing. Thank you so much for guiding us through this fascinating topic.
It was my pleasure.
And thank you to everyone for listening to ESL Listening Practice. Try to use one of these new words today. Maybe tell someone a constructive truth.
Just remember to use a little bit of tact.
Exactly. See you next time.